to Mobility Monday. My name is Inga, and today we're going to be talking about everything with the hamstrings. If you have tight hamstrings, whether it's from running, biking, sitting quite a bit, our hamstring muscles can really cause us a lot of pain, and they're really connected both to our low back, our glutes, and our knees. So we're going to be doing just a quick kind of warm up here that you can do either before your activity or after to really get those hamstrings working. And we're also going to be using our chair today. So if you have a chair, you're going to want to grab it. You can use pretty much any chair that doesn't have wheels with it. You can use an ottoman. I don't necessarily recommend a couch because you're going to want a little bit more of a hard surface. So let's get started. The first exercise we're going to do is we're going to open up our feet just a little bit wider than hip distance. Bring your hands to your hips, and I just want you to really stand up tall here. So shoulders back, head back, pull your ribs together, and then bring your hands right into those hip flexors. And I want you to think about more pushing your butt back than about pushing your chest forward or lifting your shoulder down, your chest down, and you'll feel the back of your hamstrings. You can see my chest is still tall. I want you to drive with your glutes to stand up. Awesome, we'll do this a couple times. So we'll hinge back, and then we'll come up. And you want to be careful here that you're not rounding in your chest as we do this. We're really trying to get into those hamstrings, into those glutes as we do it. And there's a slight bend into our knees. If you feel any tightness in your low back, you can bend your knees more here, but we're just breathing as we move through this. This is a great one to do if you're come from kind of a sitting position all day, or maybe you're kind of sunken into the couch as well. Breathe. Let's do 5 more. 5, 4, you should really feel those hamstrings working, feel your glutes working. 3, awesome. 2, last one, push back and we'll hold here. And then see if you can hinge forward just a little bit more. Maybe you can bring your hands to your shins, almost like a half lift, or all the way down to the ground. But I want you to keep your spine really tall here. So if you're rounding, you maybe even have to walk your hands up to the thighs, or you can grab for that chair while we're here. But spine stays tall as we get into that hamstring. We're just breathing. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. One more, inhale. Exhale, let's come all the way back up. All right, let's start with our left foot forward. We're going to take our right foot back. We're going to kind of do something similar. So we're going to bend into this right leg slightly. You can flex your toes up or keep them down, but we're going to do the same thing that we just did, but we're going to isolate each leg. So start with the toes down, and we'll just start to hinge forward into that left leg. And I want you to think about pushing your left glute as you do this. Yeah, and you can feel the front of the leg here, feel your shin as your foot stays down. And then let's flex the toe as we come back. Yeah, and then staying lifted here in the chest. If you want to add on a little bit more, you can add a reach with your right arm, so you're reaching for that left toe, left big toe. Breathing. Yeah, so feel really good here in the back of that left hamstring. Again, you can always keep a little bit of bend here into that left leg. 2 more on this side. Feeling it already. Last one. Come all the way up and let's switch sides. So right foot steps forward, left foot stays kind of to a stagger. So feet are at least hip distance. And then you're pushing your right glute back, bending into that left knee as you come down and then up. Chest stays lifted here. Yeah. Feel that right hamstring working. Breathe it, you can do it. And then flex the toe as you push back. Awesome. 3, you can do it. 2, keep that chest long. Last one. All right, come all the way up. She got your legs, she got your arms. So you can already feel your hamstrings working, already feel your hamstrings loosening up just a little bit more. So we're going to come to the back of our chair. We're going to bring our hands to a chair, and we're going to open up our feet pretty wide here. So I'm actually going to turn to my side just so you can see me. So my feet are at least mat distance, if not wider. Toes point in, and I'm just going to keep my legs straight here as I just kind of wobble from side to side. And you want to walk those feet back pretty far here. And if you want, you can lean forward. Again, it's always okay to have a bend into that chest, or bend into those knees, so you can keep your chest on. So you can be like as far back as I am here, keeping those legs straight, just wagging the hips. Or you can be in more of an upright position as well. But you want to push into those glutes, push into those hamstrings, leaning back into the heels. You can also do this at a wall if you don't have a chair available with you. Keep the chest lifted. Spine stay tall here so you get into that hamstring. Awesome, and breathe. 3, 2, 1, then come back up. We'll come to stay at the back of the chair here, and we'll step that left foot forward again. again. We're going to step the right foot back into a staggered stance. So feet are open again. And I want you to start by bending into your left knee. Keep the chest lifted, keep the pelvis in neutral here. You're going to keep the right leg straight and really think about pushing down through that right heel. You can always walk down to the forearms. You can always step that right foot back just a little bit more, but you want to stay lifted in the chest. And you want to think about energetically pushing down through that heel. So you'll feel it in the calf, maybe a little bit in the knee. You can have a micro bend there, and then into that hamstring. Want to be careful if you're hypermobile, you can kind of pull that knee back. You want to keep it stable here as you breathe. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to bend into that right leg. So I like to step my right foot forward just a little bit more. You're going to bend into that right leg and then push that left glute down again. And instead of mobility, we're going to get a little kind of stagnant stretch here. And we'll just kind of lift and then we'll lower. So it's a smaller movement here. And we're really using the weight of the hand here to get into both that right ankle as well as in that left hamstring. Again, always okay to have a micro bend into that knee. 3, 2, last one, and then let's switch sides. So right foot comes forward, left foot steps back, and you're at that staggered stance again. Bend into your right leg as you keep that left leg nice and long here and breathe. Chest stays lifted, don't tip in your pelvis, keep that core slightly engaged here even as we're here and breathe. Hamstrings are going to feel so good after this. All right, now start to straighten through the right as you bend into the left, and then push that right glute back as you breathe. Whew. Should feel really good in the hamstring, really good in that glute, all the way down that leg. Our hamstrings are actually comprised of 3 different muscles. They're not just one muscle here. It's really good to open kind of all sides of it. All right, then let's come back up, and we're going to slide that right foot back, and we're going to bring it to the center, and we'll bring the left toes just slightly behind you. And we're going to bend into that right leg, and then push your left glute back again. Again, always okay to stay upright, always okay to kind of come forward, maybe put the hands down, and then pull the ribs back, pull the core in so spine stays tall even as we're here. Deep breaths. Feels kind of in that outer hip, outer glute area here as we breathe. All right, then let's come up and switch. So left foot forward, right foot comes behind, and then lean back into that right glute. You can also do mobility work here. So I want you to hold, but you can just kind of do the same thing, just where you're kind of leaning forward and back as well. Awesome. 2 more big breaths. All right, let's come all the way up, and you can move that chair out of the way. And we're gonna come down to our back. So come down onto a seat, and then slowly lower down. And we're gonna start by keeping that right leg long. And you're gonna bend the left leg, bring it in here. Chest is really long, back of the neck is really long, and you're just gonna grab for behind the knee, not necessarily behind the knee, but just behind the thigh here. And all you're gonna do is point and flex your toes. Yeah, and you can feel your hamstring muscle. Maybe your leg's a little bit more forward, that's okay. Try to keep the leg as straight as you can without walking out that knee. So you can see here, I have a slight bend into my knee even as we're here, and just breathing, just pointing and flexing. You should feel that right in the back here. Awesome, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's switch sides. So left leg down, right leg comes in. Take the leg straight up, as straight as you can here, hold, and then point and flex. Yeah. Breathe. This is our last exercise for the day. This is just a great way to stretch out those hamstrings, start to get some mobility in there. Breathe. Awesome. 3, 2, 1, and then release down. And you can come all the way back up to a seat, and maybe back up to a stand, and just take a couple kind of steps side by side, maybe walk around, and you can already feel how much looser your hamstrings are, how much better your low back and your glutes feel. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and comment below about your favorite part. Have a great day.